Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, we are actually going to be doing a new series, what I'm going to be calling Concept versus Concept, where we're going to be looking at two awesome ideas for Grand Theft Auto Online updates, and you guys are going to tell me which one is the best in the comment section down below. I'm going to try to have a comment that's going to say like concept number 1 and concept number 2. You can show your support by leaving a like rating on one of those two, but also let me know in the comment section your feedback on which one might be the best. And in the first episode, we're going to be looking at military-themed updates for Grand Theft Auto Online. Now, since this is a comparison video, I am going to be going over more of the highlights rather than almost every feature of this update for two reasons. One, because I don't want this video to be 20 minutes long, and I'll leave both the links in the description and you can kind of check them out both for yourself. And this is more to just give you guys a feel of what these updates might be like. But out of the way, let's not wasting more time and let's get it started. All right, so our first military concept today comes from Rusufmean623. And his update is called the GTA Online Military Update. Pretty simple. So he says, gear up for this update in Grand Theft Auto Online that will feature 6 new weapons, 6 new vehicles, new clothing options, new yacht options, and the new gun builder. Okay, so that sounds pretty awesome. Obviously, a good amount of content right here. Let's dive straight into the vehicles that are going to be adding. And as you can imagine, these are going to be very military-esque themed. So the first one is going to be the Warthog, which is based off the A-10 Thunderbolt Mark II. So it's rain destruction from the sky with this heavily armed jet. While it's slower than the normal jet, it makes up for this with its durability and firepower, and it also includes a new bombing system. Now, obviously, this jet looks menacing, the Warthog. That would be totally awesome to have in-game, followed up by the Falcon Gunship. So the Falcon Gunship would be similar to the Titan, only heavily armored and weaponized. So this vehicle would be perfect for those who are looking for a majestic yet intimidating aircraft that is fit with 4 minigun turrets, 2 quad-based barrels, and explosive rounds. That is amazing. So it's essentially the weaponized version of the Titan, which is something I think would be very, very cool in order to have a kind of like heavier armored version of that vehicle. That would be amazing. Now, he also includes some other ones, including the heavy Juggernaut, which would essentially be a Humvee. He states the Juggernaut is a great vehicle for anyone looking for a dangerous situation with a 50 caliber turret and thick explosive resistant armor. And he also says there would be a turreted dinghy, which I think is pretty cool and also very self-explanatory. It's simply the dinghy with a 50 caliber mounted on there. Now let's move on to weapons. This is where I really think that this concept is super cool. Some of the new weapons include the Scout Pistol, which is the 3-round burst Beretta 9-3R. So I think that would be awesome. A 3-round burst pistol would be super cool. Followed up by the Heavy Rifle, which is the FN Scar H, which would be a high-end damage assault rifle, perfect for medium-range engagements. Followed up by the Micro PDW, also the Bullpup MG, and finally, last but not least, the Tactical Shotgun, as well as the Bullpup Sniper, which of course can be seen here. Now that looks absolutely menacing and of course would be a beast at long range. Now, as his description stated, he said there would be new yacht customization options, included mounted AA guns, which can be player controlled, the ability to replace the hot tub with the helipad. Now, I don't completely understand that one because we already have helipads on the yacht, so I'm not exactly sure why we would need that. But nonetheless, the ability to replace the helicopter, the Swift, or the Super Velito with a Buzzard, which I do think is a good idea. And you can choose to change the luxury interior into a base with an armory, war room, and a bedroom. And I think that would be pretty awesome. However, the biggest game-changing feature of this update would certainly include the new gun builder feature, which would basically allow you to build your own custom guns. And you could choose from any of the following types: assault rifles, machine guns, pistols, shotguns, and snipers. You could choose from different stocks, scopes, handguards, suppressors, grips, magazines, and a whole lot more. I would imagine this would simply take place at the ammunition store, since he really doesn't mention any new gun store to be heard of. So anyways, that's the first concept we're going to be looking at today by Rusufmean623. That one I think is really, really awesome. And our second one is actually coming from Garad. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you can check it out for yourself. And his GTA 5 military DLC is more a lot of suggestions rather than like a theme or a plot, but ultimately it is still pretty cool. So obviously this update would consist of a bunch of different weapons. He states there would be 3 pistols, the Glock 17, the 9mm 1A, the stun gun, as well as 2 SMGs, the Chris Vector and the UMP-45, followed up by 3 assault rifles, the HCAR, the IN-SAS Excalibur, and the M4 Carbine. In this update, he'd also include some pretty cool sniper rifles, melee weapons, and grenades like the SRS, the AR-15, and the Dragunov SVD-59. As far as melee weapons, he'd include the Kukri, which he states this weapon is like a machete, but it's much faster to swing, and also the Bowie knife, which is a weapon that's bigger and a slower version of the regular knife. Now, as far as grenades, which I think are pretty cool, adding like a new type of grenade in the game, there would be smoke grenades, which obviously could disrupt enemy vision, incendiary grenades, which would be used in the same way as tear gas, except it doesn't release toxic gas, but flames over a period of time, and the throwing knife. And this would be used very similar to the snowball, except obviously that instead of icy snow, it's a knife. Now, one thing in particular I think this concept has over the first one we looked at today is the clothing. There's a lot of really cool clothing that's mentioned here, including military backpacks that could be worn like accessories on your back. I think that would be pretty cool. Ghillie suits, special forces outfit, face paints, wingsuits, obviously knee and arm pads, head wraps, and classic military uniforms and berets. Now, obviously, there's a bunch of other things you could look at also, but I really do think that this update kind of excels in some of the weapons and also in some of the clothing, whereas the first update we looked at definitely excels in more of the vehicles. And really, last but not least, he states there would be a few game-changing things, one of which would be thermal vision for sniper scopes. I think that could be pretty cool. Thermal vision on a sniper would be awesome. He also states the option to host a game lobby without player names and locations on the map. So kind of like a hardcore / survival mode. That sounds awesome. It kind of reminds me of Fallout where, you know, you have all these different elements that make the game more realistic. The ability to prone and crouch, which obviously would be really cool and you would obviously use in the military, and extra combat animations / quick play actions, all of which would be military themed. Really, the only military themed one we have right now is like the salute, kind of, and that one's about it. So I'm sure there could be a bunch of others that Rockstar could add that could be super cool. So once again, I'll leave both links to those in the description so you can check them out for yourself. Let me know which one you think is the best one in the comments section down below. Like I said, I think the first DLC has some better ideas in terms of vehicles. I think the second DLC we looked at is better in terms of weapons and also the clothing, and I think they're kind of tied 50-50 on some of the game-changing things they want to bring into the game. So I'm going to leave that discussion up to you guys in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about it as well. If you did go on to enjoy the video, a like rating would of course be awesome, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. Without the way, guys, like I said, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.